The Stalker's Letter, a terrifying tale of obsession. The air was thick with tension as Jane sat at her desk, staring at the letter in front of her. It was written in a neat, precise handwriting, and it was addressed to her, but it wasn't from anyone she knew. As she read the words, her heart began to race with fear. The letter was from a stalker, someone who had been watching her every move for months. They knew her schedule, her habits, and even her secrets. They threatened to harm her and her loved ones if she didn't do as they said. Jane's first instinct was to go to the police, but something in the letter made her hesitate. The stalker had included a personal detail that only someone who had been following her closely would know. They had also included a warning that if she went to the authorities, they would make good on their threats. Feeling trapped and alone, Jane decided to take matters into her own hands. She began to gather evidence of the stalker's actions, taking pictures of suspicious cars and people following her, and keeping a detailed journal of their actions. She also started to change her routine, varying her routes to work and avoiding places where she knew the stalker might be watching. But as the days went by, Jane's fear and paranoia grew. She couldn't shake the feeling that someone was always watching her. She became increasingly isolated, cutting herself off from her friends and family. She couldn't sleep at night, and her work suffered. One night, as she was closing up her shop, she heard a noise coming from the back room. Her heart pounding, she cautiously approached, only to find a gift box wrapped in shiny paper. Inside, she found a picture of her, taken from a distance, and a message reading, "I will always be with you." Jane knew she had to act fast. She immediately went to the police and reported the stalker, but it was too late. The next day, her house was broken into and her family was brutally murdered. The stalker had made good on his threats. In the end, Jane was left alone, consumed by guilt and grief. She realised that no matter what she did, she could never escape the stalker's clutches. He had taken everything from her, and there was no happy ending in sight. As she sat alone in her now empty house, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She knew that the stalker was still out there, waiting for his next victim, and she couldn't help but wonder who would be next.